If you can see me, it's having a hard trying to share it to my group. It is sort of blurred out. Oh, it's been working all day. Let's see if this works. I'm going to try to bring you on. Unable to add a guest. Let's see, maybe yes, maybe no. We're going to try this again. So hi, I'm Leona with Empowering Wellness, and I am trying to get Julianna on board to be able to do our series today. I'm going to send you the invite, so maybe you can accept. I'm not sure if it's going to work, and I'm going to try to, let's try again. One more time. I'm going to send an invite, and let's see if it'll work. So Julianna is an amazing practitioner. There we go. That I've had the privilege of working with in retreats in the past with, and I'm just so excited to be working with her in the future as well on future retreats. And I'm going to tell them a little bit about your bio. So I'm Leona with Empowering Wellness, and this is Julianna, and she is a practitioner that is considered a radical intuitive coach and weaver of light, bringing dimensions of healing and weaving together healthy physical, spiritual, emotional, and energetic bodies to engage all systems towards achieving and manifesting a life that you love. She helps guide you to solve your greatest health mysteries, weaving threads of transformation across dimensions, mentoring you to become the highest vibrational quantum version of yourself through radical, energetic life design, mentoring practitioners to tap into the multidimensional healer their soul is ready for. So, Julianna, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so excited to have you part of the Empowering Wellness community. And my mission here is to connect like-minded people, not necessarily healers, but people that are wanting to be on a higher vibration and be able to do a little bit more for the collective. And I'm just so excited that you're one of my friends that I've done retreats with in the past, going to in the future, and we're very much in cohesiveness. I just took my Healy off. I just got done running my session. I love that you have yours on. We actually met in like the Healy world and all the things, and I love how there's so many modalities and tools out there that people can tap into, and I know that you have your own specific genius. So tell us a little bit about you and what your passion is in the world and how you're wanting to connect with people on their energetic, physical healing journey.
Well, thank you, Leona, and I really appreciate it. I've so enjoyed working with you. We did meet in the Healy world, which was awesome. What a great connection, and it was fun to do that retreat with you. And I so look forward to doing the future ones that we've got planned, and we'll talk about shortly. I started, I had a traditional growing up, just like everyone else, most everyone else, and I found myself in my 30s pretty sick. And I'd climbed the corporate ladder, lived the stressful life, bought all the things, get the houses, the cars, etc. And I found myself in my 30s very sick. And I was dealing with a lot of chronic pain, physical pain, and emotional pain, really struggling. And I found that I couldn't get answers by going the traditional, or I should say allopathic medical route. I started changing our food, our lifestyle, started detoxifying, got us out of the modern food world. And then over time, as I started to work with clients, because I went to school and got my degree as a naturopath, I started working with clients. I found that there was such a strong connection we had to deal with the emotions, the energetics, the electrical system of the body, the magnetic systems of the body. And I said, there's no way we can just address, as we are ascending as humans, as we are opening up into our DNA, as we are getting we're getting all these amazing downloads and we are upgrading. We can't just rely on food and supplements. We have to go into the energetics, and we have to amplify and fill up and clear and make sure things are flowing and live in this amazing world and be connected with it and be connected with Mother Earth. So I started studying beyond the food and into the emotions and into the energetics and found my passion. I love talking to people about detoxification and food. I love talking about people about they can be empowered in their wellness. They can be in charge of it. They can own it. And that is my big goal when I work with clients or I do workshops. And that's what I want to do also, is to teach practitioners that their primary job is to empower their clients, to give them the tools to be their healthiest, best self, and to live the amazing life that they're meant to live. I'm fortunate to be able to do that now. We're living in Kentucky. We live on this amazing property that's wooded. I'm living in a very small house, but I'm happy being there because it allows us then to expand into the next phase. And you mentioned the retreat center that we're building, and I'll talk about that in a little bit here. But that is my dream, and this is allowing me to achieve that dream.
That's so amazing. If you guys are watching this live, please put hashtag live in the comments. If you are watching this as a replay, please put hashtag replay. And if you have any questions for us, make sure you put them in the comments, even if it's in the replay, and we'll get back to you. We're also going to be making sure that we're putting all of her links in it and how to connect and any future offerings. So being that you're making this big move into this new area, tell me a little bit about your family dynamic and how that's all been working and interacting. And you know, I know from what I saw with leading the retreat with you at your old place, like your husband is a big part of your support system and helping doing actual like the physical building and doing things in it. So tell us a little bit about your family and this big shift in this movement that's been going on in your life.
Well, we are blessed to have two boys who are in their 20s. So our oldest son has gone back to Michigan. Our youngest is with us in Kentucky and helping us to keep the dream moving forward. My husband is an amazing contractor. He's a carpenter. He does electrical, plumbing. He does about anything you can imagine. And he can take my creative vision and make it a reality. So where I'm in the 5D, 60, 7D, pulling in, channeling in information, he's like, oh, you want me to do that? Okay, well, we can make that happen. And so he does such a brilliant job with it. We bought the shells of cabins. He's built them out. The one we're living in is tiny, 12 by 24. My office is 10 by 14, because I wanted to minimize the interference to us getting to that dream. And so you came to our house in Michigan, which was beautiful. It was a 4,000 square foot house, wooded acreage, gorgeous location, but it stood as a roadblock to me achieving this dream. And this dream is not necessarily about me, although I know I'm going to enjoy it. The dream is about providing a place for people to come and relax and disconnect. And I was telling a friend of mine about this. I think that the phrase that I used, I want to repeat. Oftentimes in our day-to-day lives, it's really hard to make habit change. It's really hard to say, I'm going to cut an hour out of every day and I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. I'm going to change my food because I know I need to, even when my kids don't want me to change the food, or my husband doesn't want me to, or whatever the case may be. But coming into a retreat allows you to experience the potential that is there with a relaxed nervous system, with eating well, with resting your body, with giving yourself permission to empower yourself and to come out of your shell and create boundaries and do those kinds of things. It makes it so that when you go back into your day-to-day life, what you experience there becomes non-negotiable. So I'm going to go back into my everyday life and I am going to find a half an hour to rest, to breathe, to relax, to meditate. I'm going to find a way to, even if my kids want to eat pizza, I'm going to either make a healthier version of a pizza or I'm going to eat something that's best for me. I'm going to know my body best. I'm going to know what's going on with me emotionally. I'm going to take responsibility for it, and I'm going to make change happen. And that's where the transformation continues. The retreats are amazing because they give you such a really deep insight into what's possible. And then because that's embedded in now in your soul and it's awakened in your soul, you can take that back into your everyday life and you can make that a reality in your everyday life.
Yes, absolutely. So I know you have a lot of passion projects that you're working on, from building a retreat center to launching programs to growing mushrooms and all the things in between. But what would be the passion project that you want the collective to know that you're working on right now? And what is that offering that you're offering to them to be able to join you on your next, like, immediate project that they can connect with you?
Well, I just launched my muscle testing magic workshop, and muscle testing is the foundation of my woven light healing technique. It's the foundation of how I make decisions every day about my health, my emotions, what I need to do, what I shouldn't do, those kinds of things. So that is already available. They can take advantage of that. Stress rescue is coming. I'm starting to do an every day or every other day TikTok where people can come on live with me and we'll breathe together and we will do those things to calm yourself down when you begin your day. The thing that I absolutely it is sort of, those are pieces of the bigger picture of energetic life design. We talk a lot about mindset. We talk a lot about affirmations, but they only skim the surface. 90% of what's going on is subconscious. 90% of it's below the surface. And yes, we can access the subconscious. Once you know how to do it, you can access your subconscious and you can make change happen. And that's really what energetic life design is. You're going to have an opportunity to tap into every single element of your life and say, is this for me, or is it time for a transformation? And that's the big
Yes,
passion
that's
project.
so
Yeah.
important, because I feel like a lot of people are really getting this calling to transform, to shift, to elevate, to level up, and like there's so many ways of doing it. So I love that you're going to be able to individualize it and make it for them and really tap into the subconscious and what like the program and everything is for them, right? Like it's
Yeah.
really tailor made to them, which
Yeah.
is really important, because I know a lot of people are getting information from a lot of different areas and like what it is that they need to streamline for them and their specific needs and desires.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is very much an individualized path. It is, you have skills and abilities and gifts that you've gotten over lifetimes that are ready to be awakened, and whether they're for your specific use, or you may, like I did, transition into working with other people, or if you're a practitioner already there but feeling like I'm just not fully satisfied with what I'm offering to my clients. This awakening, this blossoming, and I absolutely love the lotus analogy, right? So we go from, what is it, 7 petals to 1,000 petals as we transform the lotus, as we travel upward, and we come from safety all the way up to full awakening and full enlightenment. And that's available for anybody who wants it, and it is your individual path. It doesn't look like anybody else's path. And though some of the pieces might be the same, how you get there is going to look very different. And that's okay. That's how it should be.
So who would you recommend, like the specific client that you're looking for, your ideal client that you're wanting to help in offering this? Like who's the specific audience that would really benefit from this?
If you're already on your wellness path and you feel like you've plateaued, if you feel like your issue is bigger than you can handle on your own, I overcame an autoimmune condition that I didn't have a name for, but my body was not in a happy state. I've worked with a lot of clients who have all these mystery things going on. So those are a lot of the people that tend to come to me, because we find the mystery and we solve it. I've had practitioners send me people where they said, I've gotten as far as I can. We need to find that next layer and next level. And individuals who've said, I want to look at the whole picture of it all. We can look at one element. We can look at physical health as one element, but the whole picture of it all is where we find that true core soul light and happiness that is truly abiding and truly continues. And that's who I would love to work with. And of course, practitioners who said, I want to advance my practice. I want to be more meaningful and get deeper with my clients.
Love that. Thank you so much. And I know that you have created retreats in the past and we're collaborating to retreat in the future, but have you actually been on a retreat yourself?
I've done a couple. Yeah. And that's, I think, what inspired me to want to do retreats, because that immersion in those periods of time were, there are just bigger jumps forward. There are moments that you get that you can't get in a 1 hour session sometimes. There are moments you get the middle of day two because you've worked up to it, because you've done these bits and pieces, and then you go, whoa, that was big. I love that. And it doesn't even have to be like a huge monumental thing. It might be just this little boop, and then, oh, like something is completely transformed. And that happens, I think, better in a retreat, in my opinion, um, than in singular 1 hour sessions, that are all very powerful parts of the healing process. But man, nothing like getting into a retreat. And I loved the ones that I've done, and I intend to do more. In fact, I plan to take January's off. And I say January's plural because every year I want to take a retreat for myself in January and then host a retreat for others in February.
I love that. And so I know that that's one of the benefits of retreats is that you get to have an experience in a safe container and held, and then you get to go through stages that the practitioner is taking with it. And I love working with other practitioners like you because we get to give my genius, your genius, do it together, and then we weave this in and then create this like overall flow. And I tell people, with the retreat, you feel retreated, unlike a vacation that sometimes you need a vacation from your vacation. Like you're really, feeling retreated. So what would you think is like one of the main benefits and takeaways that you get from leading a retreat that a person would like want to go on? Like what would be like something really unique and special that you could offer in a retreat that people would want to be like, yes, that's the reason I want to do this and with you in this way in this collective?
Well, healing through the shadow and through the difficult parts requires us to get embodied. It requires us to get deep into our physical, mental, energetic, all the bodies, right? One of the things I love to do is embodiment, which is a movement-based meditation that we often do like one a week or one every other week. And we see improvement, but when we can do 4 consecutive sessions with different styles within them, they have this cumulative effect that becomes exponential.
That's
And
so
and
true. The cumulative, right? Like that collective, because when you're setting your intention and you're layering, it's great. And then, you might do a session, then you get busy and you get way off track, and then it takes you a little bit to get back to it. But when you're in that container, that's such a good point, that layering effect, that cumulative, that really intensive. So you're getting that layers of the onion in such a short amount of time.
yeah, yeah, and 2 times 2 becomes 12. I mean, it honestly is, it's the bigger picture that gets all put together really cleanly, and there isn't the distraction and the interference of everyday life. And I think that's one
See,
of the huge benefits.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So I always tell people save the date now. Like, why would you want to save the date now? Because I think that when we give people the opportunities, invitation to join them, some people are like, oh, it's a year, 2, 3 out. Like, why would I want to save the date now? And I'm like, well, because if you're not putting your intention and your energy and your time in now, you're never going to get it then, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so why that's always been my saying, like you have to say yes to you now, and that intention like shifts to that energy then. So why would you think it's so important for people when we, give these offerings and let people know save the date? Why is it so important for them to take action now?
First of all, you make it a priority. You make it a priority. Make it not optional. Because then you will move, or the universe will move things out of the way that to make that possible for you. The other piece of the save the date is because there's a preparation that always happens in the energetics, in the universe. If the universe needs to move things out of the way or bring people in or bring awareness in, it will come in exactly the right time. And if you said to the universe, hey, I am going in February to this retreat, or I'm going in September to this retreat, I want this to be this, and you set the intention, the universe will go, okay, we're going to line everything up for you. And it will, and that will make it even more powerful, even more transformative. And then if there's any financial concern, You have the opportunity to set it up so that the universe manifests that money for you.
Yes, absolutely. And that divine timing, right? Because when they say yes, then that divine timing of everything else kind of falling into place will just allow for all of it. You know, I always tell people if you just commit to the intention that it's happening and that you're already grateful and thankful that you're already there, everything else, the money, the situations, the things are going to flow in because you're like already saying to the universe, I have this. I already know I have the money and the time and the means and everything is going to lay out. And I'm so grateful and thankful for this healing experience and carving this time out for myself. And thank you for allowing for all the pieces to go in, all obstacles removed, past clears, everything's going my way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that divine timing will just happen. And that's, I agree, that is huge in the saving the dates. So tell us, what are some of the save the dates for you and your upcoming projects and retreats that are coming up that we need to schedule in now to say our sacred yes for ourselves, to answer yes to the universe?
The first one I've got is coming up here in Kentucky. It's Monticello, Kentucky, right near Lake Cumberland, beautiful area of the world. In November, it's going to be the 7th through the 11th, so it's full 4 days. I'm co-facilitating with another amazing woman. Her name is Amber. This is a women's only retreat, and we're calling it the Permission Workshop. This is giving yourself permission to stop playing small. Give yourself permission to rest. Give yourself permission to say no, to set boundaries, to be as much muchness as you need to be. This is one of the things we were talking about when we were planning. Like some people feel like they're too much. And I'm like, be as much muchness as you're meant to be. Be all the muchness, right? And so that's the first one. I'm intending to do a retreat in the Dominican Republic in February. The details of that have not been worked out yet. And then you and I are going to do a retreat in the fall. So let's talk about that one because that's going to be a lot of fun.
For next year fall in Rincon, Puerto Rico at Tres Serenas, which means three mermaids, and this beautiful sacred space that is a bed and breakfast right on the beach that you literally just get to walk on the beach. The property, like the wall is right there, and the pool is there, and the cabanas, and the yoga space, and the food dining, and it's a whole private container just for us. We're going to be renting out the whole place. I've stayed there several times before, and hopefully with everything working out the way we know it's divinely going to happen, and I'll be healthy and well enough to lead and do all the physical things by then. So next fall, you can go to empoweringwellness.me and you can click on the save the date, give me more information, and the more information that comes in, we can do it. And then the really big one I'm excited about is summer of 2026 around the Croatian islands on a beautiful private charter yacht that's going to hold 30 passengers. And we're going to be guiding you through one of the most epic transformational weeks and getting to experience culture and things you might not have ever experienced before. For me, that is all about, like, the location is key for the culture and the experience. And Rincon, Puerto Rico is the #1 surf place. There's going to be waterfalls and beaches and all this beautiful experience of like the tropics. And then we're going to go to the Mediterranean the next year and have the Mediterranean Sea and the seafood and the culture and you know, everything from castle tours and the whole 9 yards. And Croatia, I've been to 107 countries. Croatia, I've never been to. It's been on my top list for a long time. And the reason why it's been on the top list, it's like Greece and Italy meet and have a food baby and wine and all the things and all the cultures. And it's like this big, beautiful mixture of Mediterranean awesomeness. And we're going to be having the private chef on top of the, you know, that's going to be able to create this healthy, yummy, delicious experience on board, having a whole staff of crew being able to keep us safe, entertain us. And then it's going to be like a family feeling because we are all going to be traveling around the islands together. And we're going to have one day, which I'm really excited about, the private island day, where we get to do an island party and bring out all the water sports and toys of the yachts. Working on private charter yachts in the years before, it'll be so nice to be on the other side, but I also know what kind of level of an experience that you get, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then the layer of care and service, and then what we're going to be bringing, and then to be able to bring like cacao ceremonies and sound healing and energy and ecstatic dance and yoga and all the things. Like, this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful sun deck with the Mediterranean, seascape and sun on your skin. And I'm like salivating just thinking about it. It's going to be so amazing. Like, I can't wait to wake up, have this beautiful yoga practice, body embodiment, movement of healing, then have this gorgeous meal provided for us on the boat. We wake up, we go to the next island, and rinse, repeat the next day with other tours and other excursions. And it's just going to be so magical. So if
Yeah.
you've never experienced a high level elevated experience, it's going to be mid-July of 2026, and I'm really, really excited about that one. So make sure you
Me
save
too.
all of the dates, because we're all going to be healthy and strong and vibrant and making magic in the world, and we want to invite you to say yes to you. Know that you're worthy and deserving of a better experience, and that you can learn these tools, and then we will help you by setting up programs to help you then integrate back in. I think that's the most important thing, is that we're going to create programs that are going to support you before the trip. We're going to support you and elevate you on the trip, and then we're going to offer the support afterwards to help with the integration, so that you don't forget the feeling, the experience, the tools, and the learnings and the knowings that you got. You're going to be able to integrate them back in it. And I think that that's something unique that you and I have both, decided was so important, is the integration before and after the trips, and setting up our specific programs for our clients. And so I'm really excited that we're going to be able to offer that for the collective, for people to have that individualized coaching for it.
Yeah. And I will encourage people that if you've got a best friend or a partner or somebody who you do life with, and that you want to walk this path together, do these retreats together. Because then when you go back home, you can continue to support each other. It's the community aspect that's built in a retreat that you can continue forward, that really just continues to move. I mean, we're continue to move things. We continue to accelerate forward, and it's so much better when you get to do it together.
And also having a little bit of an accountability buddy, with it, to help you, stay with it. We're going to be supporting you, but it's also nice to have that other person. And the people that you meet there, you never know, they might end up becoming one of your best friends or an accountability buddy without even you know it. I mean, some of the retreats that I've been on are literally one of my best friends to this day. I met in a retreat in Switzerland, and I tell her, that was one of the best things that came out of that retreat, was meeting her and having her in her life and in my life. And she's been monumental in my healing process. She took care of me for a month. I've been ready this summer for my foot. At the end of the week, we were like in the sun, and she's like, I just know that you were meant to be in my life, and you're going to be like in my wedding. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Said yes, and by golly, I was in her wedding. Like, we have stayed friends. It is like, I feel like on retreats, you get to meet like your soul family, like your soul sisters, people that you really connect with. And when you have these experiences with them, then you get to bring back those memories. You get a better connection. You get to know someone on a deeper level, and then it helps you grow when you continue to experience it with it. So yes, I 100% recommend bringing your bestie, bringing a friend, bringing a family member, sister, cousin, whoever you know that would benefit to being around you, around us, having that experience, and then that way you have someone to really share it with and make those great memories with them.
Absolutely. The other element of it is, if you are starting this journey and you are very alone in it, I know I was at first, because all of the people that were in my life before, when I said, hey, I'm getting healthy, we're cutting out fast food, I'm doing this, doing that, they all went, oh, I like my donuts, I'm good. And so I found myself with less and less and less and less people in my life. And then I found myself all by myself, which was a very difficult place to be. However, it allowed me to focus in on what I needed to do. And now I have built up a community of people that I love and adore, that I could trust implicitly. It doesn't matter what I've got going on. I can tell them, and they will honor me and support me. And I love that, because I didn't have that before, and I do have it now. And that can be cultivated and developed in a retreat, and then, like you said, carried on into everyday life.
Yes, absolutely. Well, my dear, one last question. If there was one tip that you would want to give the collective, to just like words of wisdom, like if you knew what you knew now and you needed to tell your little girl self or your inner child, or something that you learned now that you wish you would have learned earlier, what's that like one tip that you could give the collective for tonight? little food for thoughts from your experience in life that would be like, I like to seal the interview with this little kiss of wisdom.
Right. Your deepest transformation comes in what you're avoiding doing. And if you don't want to do it alone, you don't have to do it alone. There are people like myself, Leona, and others who will help walk you through it. But you can't avoid it. It must happen. And then the light is on the other side of it, and the joy is on the other side of it.
Excellent, excellent. So we're going to put all of your links and information down below. Remember, if you have any questions, you're watching this as a replay, put hashtag replay. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and share it, and continue following Julianna and I and our amazing mark that we're making in the world, creating, transformational destination wellness retreats, being able to help raise the vibration and frequency and allow you to create those quantum leaps and experiences that are going to be in your highest and best. And know that the time is now, and now is the time. And it is time to say yes to you, your sacred yes, your divine yes, and allow the divine timing and everything to fall into place, because we believe in you. And if there's any way that we can help you in any way, just reach out to us, contact us. We'll put all the information in the comments below, and we're here for you. So with all of my love and light from my heart to yours, may peace be with you until we meet again. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye. Thank you so much, Julianna.
Thank you.